their goal is really to dominate. This is the nature of their version of Islam, to dominate the world, to have everyone under their boots. And this is what we oppose.
Yes, so thank you for the invite here as well.
Welcome, Tommy. Welcome to the Knesset. Welcome to Jerusalem.
It's an honour to be here.
I hope you get as much love here as you get at the market and at the streets. I've seen it.
I've had a fabulous time so far in Israel.
Yeah,
a fabulous time.
They love you.
Can we understand, from your point of view, you're a member of the government within Israel, how do you feel about the European nations, France, Britain, with the way they've treated Israel since the start of October 7th?
The leaders of those countries, I see them as the modern time appeasers, trying to feed the crocodile, expecting it to eat them last. This is not what you do with aggressors. What you need is to fight, fight, fight. As President Trump said after the attempt on his life. Fight, fight, fight. That's what you do. And this is what we have been doing ever since October 7th. Fighting to release our hostages. Gladly, all the living ones came back to their families. Fighting to restore security, to bring the thousands of displaced civilians back to their communities safely. And far from being a local battle, this is a global struggle. This is how we see it. And this is why I think you are so much loved here in Israel. Because you see it too. A battle between the forces of radicalism and extremism and fundamentalism and those of freedom and liberty and democracy, which is what Israel represents in our region. This is what we are fighting for. And this is what Hamas came after on October 7th. This is what each and every one of the Ayatollah regimes of Iran proxies did since October 7th. But with the help of God and our good friends and our holy soldiers risking their lives daily, we prevailed.
Can we, so a British audience can understand this, because we talk about Hamas. It's not just Hamas though, is it? So where we have Israel on a map, you have Hamas, Gaza border, but you also have Hezbollah on another border. You have the Houthis. So what's it like to be...
The Shiite militias.
The Shiite militias. What's the population?
And of course Iran.
What's the population of Israel?
You know, for American visitors, we always say Israel is the size of New Jersey. It's true. But having visited Chicago a few years ago, observing... Have you ever been to the Chicago?
No.
No. So, on top of one of the most beautiful apartments in Chicago, I've seen Lake Michigan, which is one of 5 lakes, and not the largest one, by the way. And it is only 3 times the size of Israel. This is how tiny this country is, with a population of 10 million, surrounded by 21 Arab nations, mostly hostile towards us, and 54 Muslim countries, still most of which hostile towards Israel. But gladly we have managed to prove that peace could be achieved through strength. And I was fortunate to be a minister in the government that signed the Abraham Accords with 4 Arab countries. 2.5 years ago, I had the fortune to become the first Speaker of the Knesset to be invited officially to speak in a parliament of a Muslim country. That was Morocco, by the way, the country where both my parents were born and raised. And we do have a way to continue and expand the circle of peace. We need to be strong. We need to be proud of our heritage and who we are. And we must not be appeasers towards aggression.
What do you think, from the outside in? You've obviously lived in Israel. You understand what it's like to be surrounded by jihad and have your culture, your identity, and your very existence in danger. Looking at Europe and the change in face of Europe, all the European nations, the Western European nations, certainly France, Britain, Sweden, these countries. What do you think the future looks like for us in countries like Europe, where we still have the Muslim Brotherhood, we have terrorist organisations, extremist organisations that are banned in most Arab nations, active and have bases in our countries, and the demographical change. What do you think, looking out with leaders like Keir Starmer, leaders like Macron, what do you think the future looks like for us and for the? Because when I say us as not as non-Muslims, but also the Jews that are left in these countries.
Well, as you said, it depends on your leadership. Will your leadership maintain the European, the Judeo-Christian values and the Western way of life that Europe enjoyed for so many years and the freedoms that we share? Or will they cave in? Because when the immigrants come in small numbers, they seek to assimilate. When they come in large numbers, they seek to dominate. The question is, who's stronger? Who will win? And will the Europeans manage to unite, to stand against the forces of radicalism and extremism and fundamentalism? 80 years ago, we have lost 6 million of our people.
You have
6 million of our people. Men, women, children, elders. We are a people that remembers. We don't forget. What you see here on my desk, this book, a very large one, a very heavy one, contains only one word. Very small, very tiny, almost invisible, only one word. And that word is Jew. It's written here 6 million times. And when you hold it and you realize that every line represents your classroom, every few lines, the whole school, every page is a village, every few pages a town, it is only then that you realize what we, the Jewish people, have lost during the Holocaust and what it is that we fight for in our one and only Jewish state in our country.
If you're speaking now to patriots, because there is patriots are uniting across Europe on these mass immigration issues. If you're speaking to patriots and the British public, why is your fight here in the state of Israel? Why is it important to us in mainland Europe?
We are the last front. If we lose, God forbid, you have to be very naive to think that the crocodile will have no more hunger. You have to be very stupid not to realize that the goal of these people, of the terror organizations, their goal is really to dominate. This is the nature of their version of Islam, to dominate the world, to have everyone under their boots. And this is what we oppose.
So it's not just to dominate Israel. What we're saying is the Caliphate,
not.
Hezbollah, Hamas. They're quite open about this. This isn't your opinion. The organisations.
Well, Muammar Gaddafi, the late ruler of Libya, said we shall conquer Europe without a single shot. And this is what we see these days in the streets of London, in the streets of Rome, in the streets of Paris. And you need to stand up. You need to stand up against this. And you do that very much better than others.
I think you've probably answered this, but Donald Trump has been a very loyal and very good friend to the state of Israel.
Indeed.
Why? What's the difference between Donald Trump and what's the difference the United States of America? And what's the difference between Macron, Keir Starmer and these other leaders?
First of all, and I'm not going to be very diplomatic, he has balls.
Okay.
Okay?
He's a man.
Yes. He has what it takes to confront evil, to confront tyranny. And he's willing to fight. He's a fighter. And he sees the world, and he sees, I think he has been one of the greatest leaders, not only to America, but to the free world. And I expect that the relations between Israel and America will only grow stronger. We have a great friendship between the two peoples. And I think it's a great blessing to the free world, because these are two nations willing to fight for freedom. This is what America stands for. This is what Israel stands for. And I hope that many leaders will follow that path in the UK, in Paris, throughout Europe, throughout the world, Australia, Canada. Yes, yes, this is my hope, that we will see a change.
A new generation of leaders.
Yes.
Strong men.
We still have time. But the clock is ticking.
I think the British audience know the clock's ticking. We can see the culture change, we can see the demographic change, and we can see the change in freedom. So it's been a pleasure. Come and see you.
Thank you, Tom.
I'm very grateful for the
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.